What would you do if the woman you loved, the mother of your children, was caught in a lie so profound it shattered your entire existence? And you found out not from her, but from a glowing phone screen at 2 a.m. The night everything broke was a Tuesday. A text preview flashed. "Can't wait for Vegas, babe. You'll never know." My blood ran cold. Vegas. We had no plans for Vegas. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic drumbeat of impending doom. I knew in that instant my life was about to unravel. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel to tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. The weeks leading up to that Tuesday had been a slow, agonizing descent into suspicion. Sarah had changed. Late nights at work, a new perfume, a sudden obsession with her appearance. Our once easy conversations became strained, punctuated by her dismissive sighs and my growing sense of dread. I tried to talk to her, but she'd just snap. "You're being paranoid, Mark. I'm just stressed." Her words were ice, her eyes distant. One afternoon, I found a receipt for a high-end steakhouse in her purse. It wasn't our anniversary. When I asked, she mumbled something about a client dinner, but the date was a Saturday, and she told me she was at her sister's. The lies were becoming bolder, more frequent, and my humiliation festered. I started checking her phone when she was in the shower. A desperate act I hated myself for, but couldn't stop. That's when I saw the texts, not just from Vegas Babe, but from Client X. The messages were explicit, filled with pet names and plans for clandestine meetings. My wife, Sarah, was cheating. The man, a smug, self-satisfied prick named David, was a colleague she'd always dismissed as harmless. Harmless, my ass. The discovery broke me. I spent days in a fog, going through the motions, a hollow shell of a man. I'd stare at Sarah across the dinner table, her laughter sounding like a foreign language, her touch repulsive. The pain was a physical entity, a crushing weight on my chest. I wanted to scream, to confront her, to tear down the facade, but something held me back. A cold, calculating voice in my head whispered, "Not yet. Not like this." I remembered my father's words. Revenge is a dish best served cold, son. And with a side of legal documents, I started gathering proof. It was methodical, painstaking work. I installed a discreet GPS tracker on her car, a tiny device hidden beneath the bumper. I set up a keylogger on her home computer, watching her emails and chats unfold in real time. I hired a private investigator, a quiet, efficient woman named Maria, who specialized in infidelity cases. She confirmed my worst fears, providing photographic evidence of Sarah and David at various hotels. Each photo was a fresh stab to the heart, but also fuel for the fire of my resolve. Sarah, meanwhile, grew bolder, more arrogant. She seemed to revel in her deception, treating me with thinly veiled contempt. She'd leave her phone unlocked, almost daring me to look, knowing I wouldn't confront her. She'd talk about David, casually mentioning his brilliance or charm, twisting the knife deeper. She felt untouchable, protected by her lies and my apparent ignorance. She had no idea the net was tightening. My plan was intricate, a legal and social trap designed to leave her with nothing. I consulted with a divorce attorney, a shark named Mr. Henderson, who specialized in high-asset cases. He outlined the legal landscape, the importance of irrefutable evidence, and the strategic timing of my moves. I also started subtly shifting assets, ensuring my financial future was secure, away from her grasp. I opened new accounts, transferred funds, and updated my will, all under the radar. The public exposure would be the final act. Sarah had always been obsessed with appearances with her social standing. She was a board member of several charities, a fixture at galas, and a self-proclaimed pillar of integrity. I knew hitting her where it hurt most wasn't just about money. It was about her reputation. The day came. It was a Monday morning, a board meeting for the largest charity she chaired, held at the prestigious Omni Dallas Hotel. I arrived unannounced, impeccably dressed, a calm smile on my face. Sarah saw me, her eyes widening slightly. David was there too, looking smug as ever. I walked directly to the head of the table where Sarah was about to begin her presentation. "Excuse me," I said, my voice clear and steady, cutting through the polite chatter. All eyes turned to me. Sarah's face paled. I believe there's something important we need to discuss before we proceed with the charity's future. I projected a series of images onto the large screen behind her. Photos of Sarah and David, intimate and undeniable. The room gasped. Whispers erupted. Sarah's face was a mask of horror, her carefully constructed world crumbling around her. David, for his part, looked like a deer caught in headlights, his smugness evaporating. And for those wondering how I acquired this evidence, I continued, my gaze sweeping across the stunned faces. You might be interested to know that the insurance investigator handling our recent claim, the one Sarah insisted on, is actually my best friend. He's been keeping me informed of her. Extracurricular activities, Sarah screamed. It was a raw, guttural sound of pure, unadulterated terror and rage. She lunged at me, but security, whom I had discreetly arranged to be present, intervened. The room was in chaos. Her carefully cultivated image shattered into a million pieces. The charity board, disgusted, immediately moved to remove her. The divorce proceedings were swift and brutal. With the overwhelming evidence, Sarah had no ground to stand on. She lost everything: her social standing, her reputation, her financial security. The house, the cars, the investments, all were awarded to me. I was left with nothing but the wreckage of her own making. David, cowardly as expected, disappeared, leaving her to face the consequences alone. I saw her once more, months later, working a minimum-wage job at a diner in a forgotten corner of Los Angeles. Her eyes hollow, her spirit broken, she didn't see me. I simply watched a ghost in the periphery before turning and walking away. The silence that followed her destruction was deafening, a cold, haunting echo of what once was. The end.